what it means to be an American. America is freedom, and freedom is special and rare.
We, the people of this great nation.
The only thing we have to fear is fear itself.
The people.
We, the people
of this great nation.
of this great nation.
Good morning, my fellow patriots and Americans. Today we wake up to a new president. Today is officially the first day we wake up in the morning and we have a President Joe Biden, the destructor of America. That is what I'm going to call him, besides Sleepy Joe Biden. Now, we all saw the ridiculous inauguration. I was observing the whole thing and I was thinking to myself, wow, this is insane. I would say about 80% of the people that were there are all criminals or belong in prison. From Hillary, which is Hillary, Bill Clinton, the pedophile slash rapist, to Obama, who's part of Obamagate, to Mitch McConnell, who I know he's got some sort of dirt on him, God knows what it is, to Nancy Pelosi. I mean, we saw the establishment at its finest. We saw a crowd of American flags and 30,000 National Guards for no reason whatsoever. Nobody did anything. Nothing occurred. It was the weirdest inauguration I've ever seen in my entire life. It looked more like you were in a third world country under a dictatorship. That is exactly what it looked like. Although I will give credit to Joe Biden, whoever wrote his speech did a magnificent job, because we all know he spent the majority of his career paraphrasing, plagiarizing people's work. So we know that he didn't write that speech. That being said, it's interesting, and I'm going to tell you what is the future of America. I already see it already with his 17 ridiculous executive orders. So, Joe Biden is going to put America last. We already know this. Immigrants, LGBTQ, minorities, which I'm one of them, but I don't care because I don't consider myself any different than any other American. But apparently Joe Biden is putting identity politics first. Now, I'll start with why he's putting identity politics first. His stimulus package is going to give small business owners, specifically the first ones that are going to get the small business loans, are going to be minorities, LGBTQ, blacks, Hispanics, which falls under the category of minorities, Native Americans, and then last but not least, the American people, the rest of us. Then we know he puts illegal immigrants above the American people. He's going to stop border wall, the building of the border wall. Okay, so therefore causing thousands of jobs to go away, and at the same time just letting our borders be free for anybody to just walk right in and taxpayers pay for their bills. Good job, Joe. Then we go to the Dakota Pipeline, where he is planning on stopping the construction as well on the Dakota Pipeline, which is also going to be devastating because so many jobs are going to be lost. And at the same time, we are going to lose more oil production, which means more dependence on Russia and foreign countries. This guy will be the destruction of this country. The destruction of this country. He is putting everyone first, everyone but Americans first. And no, I'm not overplaying it. I'm not exaggerating. It is what it is. We've literally elected the worst candidate we didn't because we didn't vote for him, but America and 30 million dead people and whatever million fraudulent votes, et cetera, put in a man that is not qualified to be president of the United States. He wasn't qualified to be a senator, yet alone be the president of the United States. 3 times this man ran for president. 3 times he couldn't get past the primaries. And this is who you're going to convince me that the woman that got less than 1% in the primaries and a presidential candidate that's failed 3 times together managed to get and surpass Obama's 80 whatever million votes he got. Yeah, that is unrealistic. And again, that is ridiculous to even think that. But again, what can I mean, we're living in these crazy times. Okay. The working class party's already made the decision. We already know. He's planning on rejoining the Paris Climate Agreement. We know that that's going to kill jobs, and it's just going to put a lot more money in other countries' hands and empower, of course, who? China, because they don't take place for a long time. They've got a in the Paris Climate Accord, they have like 20 years to get their stuff in order before they even have to engage in it. Repealing the travel ban. Countries that are a threat to the United States, but everybody keeps thinking that it's a Muslim ban, and they keep calling it the Muslim ban because they're specifically countries that have majority Muslims, radicalized Muslims. But I guess Joe Biden thinks that's a smart choice to just leave us free to have possible terrorist attacks in our country. Mask mandate. That's a beautiful one. Everyone's worst nightmare. Communism at its finest. Force the American people to wear a mask. It's not going to work because it goes state by state level. So again, that would be a pretty hard thing to reinforce. He's going to, I already spoke about the permit, the Keystone pipeline. I mean, this guy, he's going to extend eviction freeze, which affects people like me, who's a landlord that has to pay the mortgage of that property where people live in. See, I wouldn't have a problem with extending the eviction freeze. Okay, that's fine. But what are you going to do for the people that own these properties? Because there is a lot of individuals such as myself that own properties. We rent them out, but we cannot afford to just let people live in our properties for free. But again, who is he putting first? Above all, everybody but the American people. Are we going to have transparency? No. We already saw that they escorted they escorted everyone out of the room after he signed 3 documents. We already know where this is headed to. Darkness. Pure darkness. We're never going to see what's going on inside that White House. We're never going to see what takes place. One thing is certain to me. After seeing the inauguration today, this was far from a normal inauguration. It is obvious this was a stolen election. If not, you wouldn't need 30,000 troops to protect you. And it's obvious to me that everyone there is a swamp creature and wanted Trump out. Bottom line, the American people did speak. They spoke loudly. They just didn't speak for Joe Biden. They spoke for Donald Trump. And that being said, for those of you that it's becoming extremely difficult to deal with this, have faith. The Democrats always manage to fuck things up on their own. Just have faith. That's all I'm asking you to. And focus on 2022. I hear Trump is planning on opening his own party. Unfortunately, I cannot leave the Republican Party because I am not a Republican because of Donald Trump. I am a Republican because of the principles and the history behind the Republican Party. I think it would be a huge mistake to create another party. We're not living in the times of the 1800s where people would be farmers and then they would have time to organize and talk in bars and socialize and create parties. It takes a lot of infrastructure. It takes a lot of work. And I think it will end up dividing the parties, and it will give more power to the Democrats or liberals, socialists, whatever the fuck you want to call them. I categorize them all as the same thing, swamp creatures. Not trying to use Trump's words here, but that is the reality. The swamp fought back at Trump, and Trump just got stuck inside that swamp, and it was just impossible for him to overcome them. They're just, it's a machine. It's a machine. Without a doubt, it is a machine. It is a fine oiled machine. They had 4 years to figure out how to get him out. They tried impeachment, didn't work. They tried a Russian collusion, a fake collusion, didn't work. They've tried everything in the book and it didn't work. Their last option was rig the election. That's it. That was their only alternative. And when they realized that even rigging the election was becoming difficult, shutdowns in every single city, major city, corrupted major city, may I add, and made sure that Suddenly, Joe Biden takes the lead on all these cities, and then he takes the states. I'm sorry to tell you, a duly elected president can freely walk through the streets. Well, obviously with the Secret Service, because you don't know who's crazy out there. But, I mean, that's how Donald Trump did it. And I promise you, if Donald Trump would have been getting inaugurated today, it would have been with a crowd of people. Because Donald Trump follows the science. And international studies have already shown that lockdowns do not work. They do not work. People do not understand this. He was right about schools. He was right about the lockdowns. They did a comparison between California and New York. California and Florida. Guess whose economy is booming more? Guess who's happier? Guess whose suicide rates are lower? Florida. Yep, DeSantis. The great state of Florida where I live and where now my president, Donald J. Trump, lives. Although I will never, because I respect this country too much, never say Joe Biden is not the president of the United States. He was inaugurated, and he is currently the president of the United States. I will always look at him as an illegitimate president and not the president I voted for. That being said, I also want him to do the best possible job. Already, not looking so good. It's looking like he's headed in the wrong pathway. I'm also proud to say that I'm going to be about $2,000 richer by Monday, because Dr. Q's conspiracies were wrong. I absolutely 100% wrong. Nothing happened in the inauguration. Everything that the QAnon community was spreading was lies, and it was nothing more than conspiracy theories, which is why I kept trying to let you guys know not to believe these things that were going on all over the internet. He wasn't the first person I spoke to about this, nor the last. A lot of people were repeating the same thing. The storm is coming. Trust the plan. There is no plan. There was no storm. There was a small snowstorm that hit during the inauguration, which is as close as they got to their predictions. That's about it. Today we witnessed a senile man that belongs in a home get elected to the most powerful position in the world. That is what we witnessed today. Well, yesterday, I'm sorry. And today we're waking up with that senile man, and our country's headed in the wrong pathway. They're making everything about identity. They're making everything about race, and they're making Americans and anybody who is white feel as if they should feel guilty about something. They're making people that are white feel that they're privileged. You are not. You were just born white. It's very simple. Someone who's born black is born black. Someone who is white is white. I am Hispanic. I look white, but I am Hispanic. I don't look at anybody with white privilege. I grew up in a poor neighborhood with family that came from another country, and I have never, ever felt like somebody had a higher privilege than I did. This is the greatest country in the world. This is a country that pushed through the civil rights movement, abolishment of slavery. We have come to this level where we have elected the first African-American president and then reelected him again. I am tired of this bullshit that everybody keeps preaching about race. There is no systemic racism. If you look at the numbers, and that's it, I am tired of them using race for everything. This is what they do, and it's ridiculous already. They are making Americans feel alone. They're making Americans feel isolated. They're making Americans feel like they're the minority in this country. And when I mean American, I mean white American, obviously. So yes, I will continue to fight for the America First agenda. I won't stop. I'm not going to let Donald Trump's memory die or Donald Trump's movement die. I will continue to fight for that movement, and I will continue to criticize everything Joe Biden does, because there's going to be so many of them. So many mistakes he's going to make. So many decisions. I predict we'll be in Syria in about 5-6 months. 5-6 months. I give it about 5-6 months. We'll be in a new war in Syria or something. But don't worry, this will be their demise. This will be their demise. because their ideologies, they don't fit with the rest of America. Although they think they do, but they don't. America rejected this ideology. That's why we flipped 15 House seats. And that's why we will take the House in 2022, possibly retake the Senate, and we will take the presidency again in 2024. Very simple. But I want people to be hopeful. I want people to be precautious. I am trying to expand this as much as humanly possible. I wanted to let you guys know. I'm working on a lot of different projects right now. One of them being that I want to create a website that's a free website for people to go. And I have already the person who's going to be doing the animation. I have the person, and I want to create a website where parents can, where kids can watch cartoons that are fun, but it's actually teaching them real history. Not the history, the indoctrination that these left-wingers want to do. I want to teach them real American history, real world history, because I am scared for the future of our kids, and I'm going to make it entertaining enough where the kids can engage with the show and feel like it's cool, and at the same time learn. And that's why I have started a GoFundMe page. For those of you who follow me in A Republican Podcast on Facebook, you can see the GoFundMe page there. You can also send donations via PayPal to arepublicannation@gmail.com. That's just the letter A, republicannation@gmail.com. I'm trying to put together $5,000, and that's just to get the first show launched. It's a difficult task. I've invested, and I'm not, no BS. I haven't made any money off what I'm doing. I enjoy doing it because I'm just passionate about politics and about the history of this country and about this country in its whole. But it's becoming extremely difficult when I'm consistently putting in my own money, and I have 2 kids, a wife, family to maintain, and it becomes a little bit difficult. So if you guys can go ahead and share that and share it with your friends and spread the word, I am going to make some big things happen. I'm working on a platform as well, a Twitter style platform. I mean, I know a lot of different people are doing the same projects, but fortunate for me, I used to own a technology company, so I have contacts within that industry, and I'm working on something big there too. So I'm trying to fight for freedom of speech. I'm trying to fight for for America. I'm trying to keep the original America that we have. I don't want it to change. These Democrats, they hate this country. They think this country needs to change. I think this country gets better every year, every day, every hour, every minute of the day. This is the most amazing country in the world. That being said, I have my co-host here. I wasn't going to bring him on because I'm very disappointed with him. Because Dr. Q has been wrong on numerous occasions. But apparently he continues to think that there is a plan. He does not stop with this. Again, just remember, he had a plan a day ago. He had a plan 2 days ago. So he's going to give you another plan, which you can go by track record, or you can go and believe me or believe him. Dr. Q, are you there? Dr. Q?
Yes, sir, I'm here. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I made sure to extend my opening statement longer than I normally do, just so I wouldn't have to put your ass there for too long.
Thank you so much.
All right, buddy, go. So
I want to say to the listeners, I am very sorry. Everything I stated was not false, and it just didn't happen the way you guys expected it to happen. But I must say, it is not over. So you got to have faith in God, and I'm letting you know that what seems like something isn't it. Okay, it looks like something, but it's not. It's something totally different. Let's put it like this. Basically, whatever I stated about the corporation constitution, that is the plan in hand in regards to our President Donald J. Trump. Okay, so that's what's going to happen. That's going to be the end game. And he's, like I said, he's very, very calculated. and he doesn't lose. Donald Trump does not lose, will not lose. He did not lose now. He had to do these certain scenarios for his plan to work the way it needs to. Okay, so I'm just going to break it down to you briefly. I'm not going to tell you because you're going to find out. Basically, these scumbags in Washington, D.C. are in a prison right now. Okay, they are surrounded by military everywhere. Okay, let me just tell you, they're not going anywhere. Not one of them is going anywhere. Okay, they're not going back to home to California. They're not going nowhere. Okay, this is a prison. Okay, what happened today was when he was inaugurated, the Constitution Corporation was dissolved due to the fact that Donald J. Trump was not president and Biden was a false president. Okay? I know it's hard to understand, but you will see what happens very.
Don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be right back.
Do you feel homeless in today's American political world? Not really into either candidate or party? Guess what? You're not alone. Join me and others just like you across this great country for a discussion of politics from a viewpoint that you can't find in today's media, the middle. I'm your host, Brian Grozier, and I invite you to join in on the discussion by downloading and listening to the Middle American Podcast.
Very soon.
No. Not very soon. We have a bet
Very soon.
that if by Monday nothing happens, he keeps flip-flopping, guys. Apparently he thinks that that we record these things and these things don't stay live forever. Apparently he forgets that he places bets with me, and he keeps kind of like pivoting and trying to figure out ways to extend this bet. We have finalized the bet. If by Monday nothing has occurred, he will be sending me $2,000 on that bet. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. That's correct.
Are you gonna man up? Are you gonna give me your word?
Yes, you got my word.
All right. That's
Oh,
all I
man,
wanted
my
to hear.
word,
Go
my
on
word is
with
gold.
go on with your nonsense.
Come on, man.
So, so like I stated, things look like something, they're not. It's you're going to be very pleasantly surprised, and it's going to be very soon. You're going to hear some serious shit going on. All right, they're not going to be there for long. Let's just say that.
I mean,
In power, anyway.
I love how you laugh with this confidence, but
Exactly.
again, I mean, you were telling me earlier today how you were going to buy some masks on Amazon so you could be able to hide your identity from all the bets you've been placing with everybody. I know where you live.
I did, I did say that because I was just messing with him, but
I mean, he sends me
I-
pictures of G.I. Joe, the character in G.I. Joe that changes his face, and he's constantly sending me like, oh, I'm taking off the mask. I mean, literally, I called him live on the stream, and I go, hey, listen, you got to pay up, bro. Joe Biden. And then he goes to, it's just, this is why I can't believe anything he says. What evidence do you have that Joe Biden has stepped foot in the office, in the White House? And I go, well, just turn on Fox News and Newmax is signing executive orders right now. I'm pretty sure he's in the White House. I could see the lawn. I could. He just.
But is it that desk that he's really sitting on? Are you sure it's the White House?
I mean, at this point, he doesn't believe anything. I'm going to tell you, if he was married, I know Dr. Q's not married, but if he was married, anybody around him would be going crazy right now. This man has the capabilities of making anybody insane. He drives me insane on a daily basis. That's why. And the thing is, this is where it gets even worse. That as I was streaming today earlier, right? There's a lot of QAnon people that follow me. I don't have an issue with it. I I'm a proud Republican. I love this country. I love the party. I love our president that I voted
Go
for.
real quick. I'm gonna use the bathroom real quick.
All right. So I love the president. So the president that I voted for. And it was interesting enough that I was streaming, right? And I had a monstrosity of people going into my stream. I think I hit like 40,000 people on Facebook watching the videos. And they were just commenting, fighting with me and arguing with me. And it got to the point where you're like, okay, that's wrong. And you're debunking them right there live. Like it's not even, and they just can't believe it. And it gets to the point that they start attacking me. And I'm like, listen, you got to calm down. I want Donald Trump to win more than anything in this world. I want him to win. But if you're saying an outright lie or fake statement, I'm going to call you out on it. The first thing they were saying was, do you see the Capitol? There's no flag. There's no flag on the top of it. There was clearly a flag on top of it. I saw the video footage. Then they were talking about the White House. The White House has no flag, no American flag on it. The White House had an American flag because Fox News was zooming into the freaking flag. And these are the type of things that create more hysteria. I'm actually glad that my prediction was completely wrong. I will admit I had a prediction was completely wrong. No violence occurred whatsoever in the inauguration. It was a peaceful transfer of power. It was. Indeed, it was. Republicans did nothing. These so-called right-wing extremists that everybody keeps complaining about, that keeps claiming that they were going to cause damage, that they needed so many National Guards out there, nothing happened. But you know what did happen? In Seattle today, people are burning flags.
I'm back.
Okay, in Seattle right now, in Seattle, as of that same night that Joe Biden got inaugurated, they're burning flags and they're marching through the streets. They scared cops to the point where cops had to retreat. And apparently the sign said, we don't want Joe Biden. We want I don't even engage in it because it's just stupid. But again, requesting demands, doing the same stupid stuff they were doing under President Trump, nothing is going to change. He is not a unifier. He is a denier. He hasn't even condemned Antifa, but continues to talk about white supremacy. When was the last time you heard the KKK do anything? When was the last time you heard a white supremacist group do any massive amount of damage like the Antifa group is doing? And then they go and they call the Proud Boys a white supremacist group? Seriously? When their chairman is a black Cuban American? I mean, this is just ridiculous. They use it when it fits their narrative. That's all they do. And they continuously keep doing this. I was very happy to hear Donald Trump's final farewell speech. It was very well said. I'm glad he didn't show up to the inauguration. He does not. Vice President Pence, to me, is a traitor. And I'm not meaning a traitor to this country. I mean a traitor to President Trump, who stood by him, who at any point could have chosen anybody else to run with him and still would have gotten the same numbers, because nobody votes for vice presidents. Everybody knows people vote for presidents. And he stood by him, even though there was rumors circulating that he wasn't going to rerun with Vice President Pence. But Pence was there hanging out with the swamp. He chose the swamp over his president and the guy that he spent the last 4 years with fighting to make America great. And that was a huge disappointment to me. Huge disappointment. Aside from the fact he didn't have the balls to send it back to the States on January 6th and use the Capitol supposedly insurrection, which I find it to be the most ridiculous insurrection I've ever seen, of 20 or 30 people that are sitting there and taking pictures. That is, wow, what a crazy insurrection. That was a real insurrection into the Capitol buildings while cops were letting them in. Very interesting. But that being said, Dr. Q, you said you were there?
I'm here, buddy.
Go on with your dumbass self.
So, I'm gonna read you something here. Well, I'll do two things here. The other argument we had the other day in regards to John McCain, I want to play an audio for you, just so you know you guys can hear this. Let me know if you can hear this, okay? Here we go.
That was with veterans, and we were joking. And if somebody can't understand that, my answer is please get a life. I'll tell you, what's not said on the television and will not be said on the television is how much Vietnam veterans and POWs hate John McCain.
Hold on, let's go.
Jesus Christ, am I going to have to hear the theme song?
Set up the select committee, and that it took them 9 months to set up the committee, mainly because of the opposition of Senator McCain, who was bitterly opposed to any attempt to find the POWs, which is remarkable, seeing that he was a POW himself. No instance would he ever give in and say there were POWs left behind. And my first question is, how would he know or not know? So just that which is reasonable, he never exhibited, and I don't know why. Maybe it's a guilt complex. Maybe he promised the Vietnamese something. Okay, and I don't know what it is. And maybe he actually believes that. That would be the saddest of all. He probably did more harm to the idea of trying to get the truth out than any other single person through the efforts he did to block the release of classified intelligence dealing with the POW&IA problem.
McCain stepped in and, in effect, made it harder to get documentation. That certainly hurt us because we had hoped for a massive release of documentation.
Many documents were held back for no reason. And our goal on the committee was to just dump this stuff, to declassify it literally to the public. But of course, they withheld information from the committee. The U.S. government held all kinds of information from the committee, withheld information from the committee. I know that for a fact.
He didn't want nobody to check his background, because a lot of POWs that were living in the camp said he was a collaborator of the enemy. And he didn't want nobody looking into his background in the camp. What went on in that camp. That stuff is still classified, so nobody can see it. And he just had it classified forever, so nobody will ever look at it.
Even POWs we knew who wanted to see their own debriefing were not permitted because of the McCain regulation.
But where did McCain get compliments for doing this? The bureaucrats at the Pentagon, because it put a workload on them. It put a workload on them for missing in action people. And did we need that bill to handle a Scott Spiker case? Oh, you bet we did.
And also what it did, and this is what he really opposed, if you remember the contentiousness we got into him in his office, was that it would hold the bureaucrats accountable by penalty of law.
That's
if
right.
they lied or if they withheld information.
That's right.
And he fought tooth and nail to protect those bureaucrats.
Yes.
Because they were protecting him.
Could never understand that. Why would we, if someone was guilty of withholding information that would help us to solve the mystery of what happened to an MIA and did it deliberately, why would we not want to prosecute that person? So I could never understand it. I thought the language was written. I know Bob Dornan had a hand in it. I thought the language was written very well. I supported it, fought for it hard in the U.S. Senate and mostly on the Armed
Few more minutes, it gets really good.
Debated it, but it was watered down to basically where it was almost worthless.
Now, one of the things that happened with that bill is that we were submarined. The House side, we passed it with no, I don't believe anybody opposed it. It was a pretty much unanimous vote.
401 to 0 on the House, with every single Republican.
So I'm going to get to the good stuff, but let me just explain to you what happened here.
I know what's happened. I think most Americans can understand what's saying. He was trying to stop a bill that would expose the POWs, that it would declassify his file as well as other files.
Right. Okay.
Everything.
I appreciate you inviting me here, but what I don't understand is this: you're supposed to have a committee of 12.
They have one.
All my congressmen from Connecticut walked out. All the senators were on that panel. They all walked away. McCain took off. Kerry took off. All that evidence was coming out in Korea because they knew that if they came and listened to the truth, they'd have to keep the hearing bill back.
They didn't want any information. So they weren't interested in doing anything with the information other than trying to discredit it.
North Korea did not return a large number of American servicemen at the end of the war, and that some of the men left behind were sent to communist China and to the Soviet Union. Internal documents and statements made at the time also show that our government believed that men were still alive in captivity, and until only a few months ago has kept that reality from the American people. It has covered up what it knew through a pattern of denial, misleading statements, in some cases lies, and by doing so with regard to the Korean conflict, it broke its commitment with the people who put on the uniform to fight for the freedoms and protection that we and our allies enjoy today.
What I found interesting was that, coincidental to Kerry running the committee, Vietnam gave to Kerry's family sole rights for the negotiation of all real estate issues within Vietnam.
Okay. That's quite interesting.
No, this is even more interesting.
Oh my God, how much more of this am I going to have to listen to?
Just trust me.
I'm an old Vietnam veteran, never got in country over there, but I was back in the jungles using a top secret clearance for different things during my years as a Vietnam veteran. And I know of a lot of Vietnam veterans, brother, and a few POWs. And all the POWs that I've talked to over the years say that John McCain is a lion skunk. You know, that he never was tortured. They were there in the camp with him, and when he came in with his two broken arms because he failed to pull his arms in when he bailed out of his plane and had a leg injury, he immediately started spilling his guts about everything because he didn't want to get tortured. And he made 32 different videos for the communists speaking out against America and how evil they were for what they were doing in Vietnam.
In which Afghanistan has been shut down. I was on a flight over the city of Hanoi.
Okay, I've heard enough. Q.
Yeah.
I've heard enough. Yeah. Okay, so can you refer people to where they can see this?
Yeah, it's on YouTube. You just type in John McCain exposed by Vietnam vets and POWs.
Okay, you heard that, guys. So I want you guys to go out there and check it out. I mean, I had never seen that video. I don't know who's talking on those videos. I know they spoke about Senator Kerry when he was a senator. And they spoke about how long ago were those? When were they trying to pass that bill? Do you know what year?
No, I don't. I didn't even look into it like that.
I mean, it's just hard for me to believe 80s, that 80s
or 90s.
Okay,
90s, I would say. You know.
Okay, probably not the 80s because of Senator Kerry, but
yeah, exactly, yeah.
Okay, so it's definitely something people should look into. I think people should engage, and I think people should learn, and I think that people should do their own research. There's a possibility that that my buddy here is right on that. I can neither confirm or deny it until I see it for myself. I will be looking at it later on today because I will either fact check them or not. I will check it out myself. Yeah, I mean, if other POWs that were there are saying a different story and apparently John McCain's files are classified, that'd be a pretty big issue because we wouldn't know what really went on there then. And if he's trying to block off from allowing these documents to be declassified, whenever you're worried about something being declassified or exposed, it means you got something to hide. Bottom line. That's why they did. That's why in Arizona, and I'm going to use our election as an example because I'm going to keep bashing on the election thing. That's why Arizona refused to give the machines. If you got something to hide, you're not going to let them see it. Bottom line.
The last sentence on there. It says John McCain's nickname among the North Vietnamese captors was Songbird.
Songbird.
He made 32 propaganda videos for the North Vietnamese, in which he blamed the United States. Oh, we heard that, but
yeah, we heard all that. Okay. Well, there you go. Dr. Q probably brought something to the table that might be interesting to look into.
Well,
First thing he brings, only thing he brings to the table so far.
So that's not no. I'm bringing facts today, okay? Because I had facts, I have them. It's just that I was never ready. But I'm bringing you facts today. So.
Okay, you brought me that fact. Now, what fact do you have that this is going to take place this week with the military? I mean, you told me what's going to happen. You told me. I mean, look, I don't believe any of this. I'm just letting you know. The McCain thing, possibly. I'm going to look into it because, I mean, those are senators speaking. It sounds to me like it's senators and congressmen speaking. So, I mean, these are credible people. These are not just, video and people talking live and explaining these things. I mean, I would believe other patriots. Why would you believe McCain over 10 POWs that were there, for example? I would probably believe the 10 POWs. I wouldn't think they would be conspiring against one man. So I will definitely look into that. Now, going back to your other theory, though, you haven't provided any facts or any evidence that that's going to occur.
Let me talk. So, you asked me a question, so I'm going to give you an answer.
Okay.
So I believe, number one.
Come on, man.
I just wanted to do that to you.
Yeah, I know. It me all the time. The fact is that there was 2,000 marshals there. Okay, marshals are anywhere to arrest people. That's number one. Okay, you don't have marshals there for nothing. Okay, not for inauguration. That's the National Guard that was supposed to be there. Now they have I think it's over 30,000 troops there now. And so from what I understand, I don't know if it's the marshals or it's everybody is going to be there for 4 days. So I believe something is going to pop off between now and I think it's Sunday, I guess, right?
That's not what I heard. I heard they're leaving tomorrow.
No, definitely not.
I mean,
so that's my hypothesis of everything.
I mean, oh, I'm sorry, guys. Let me correct myself. It was not just in Seattle where the protests occurred. It also occurred in Portland. So again, and by the way, the press secretary is annoying as hell. Joe Biden's press secretary, horrible. I prefer McAnally any day of this week and twice on Sunday.
Oh, my God. Yeah, God.
By the way, interesting enough, now Amazon has offered to help with the vaccine distribution.
Of course.
Same people that were giving him money, big tech. These companies.
You know about those vaccines.
Huh?
You know about those vaccines, all right?
Okay, I'm not going to jump into. You're not going to jump into another conspiracy theory with me.
Oh, it's really not conspiracy theory. Lots of doctors stating this shit, so.
Everybody's laughing and they're calling the guy that kept sanitizing everything the sanitizer in chief. Okay, so interesting enough, there is going to be more documents declassified. There's going to be some documents that are still in the process. Trump put them in play before he left office. He did pardon several people. I believe he pardoned about 70 people, which overall, I mean, it's pretty common. Wow. I mean, look, again, it was funny to see the inauguration. I take you back to the fact that they used the Capitol building claim of insurrection, and they continue to use it in their opening speeches, especially Amy Klobuchar, which should right now be holding some accountability for George Floyd's death, considering she was the prosecutor that did not prosecute that police officer when he had 19 complaints on record during the time that she was a DA in Minneapolis. But let's just forget that part, right? That doesn't matter, right? The Democrats can get away with whatever they want. So that being said, interesting turn of events. Today was interesting to watch. J-Lo. I'm sorry. It's just habit because Jamie Foxx used to say that to her. So, I said it on purpose. And Lady Gaga performed for him. Of course, you always know the left always has the celebrities on their sides, which are part of the elites. Apparently, the rest of America, or at least the progressives, think that that celebrities are not part of the elites. Yeah, when you're worth hundreds of millions of dollars, yeah, I would think you're part of the elites. But apparently, America, the left in America believe that they have some sort of commonality with, or some sort of common ground with people in Hollywood when they don't. I will tell you, Donald Trump has exposed a lot of these people for who they are. I wonder how they're going to treat Joe Biden, the press. I would be very interested to see how the press, considering Don Lemon literally just called us a Nazi about 2 days ago. It's just going to be very interesting to see this play out. So, again, I mean, Bill de Blasio, he's also got an uphill battle. Apparently, Andrew Yang is stepping up to the plate. And I think Andrew Yang is going to take Bill de Blasio out. Nobody wants that dumbass in office anymore. So, that being said, lots of erratic stuff happening. So, I mean, you want me to tell you who kept it 100% real? I mean, really, who kept it 100% real in the inauguration? I have to give it to him. Bernie Sanders. He didn't even look like a senator. I swear to you, when they showed the camera at him, I was like, is that a hobo? I was like, what the hell? I mean, Bernie Sanders keeps it real. There is something about Bernie. That man does keep it 100% real. I mean, he is who he is. He doesn't really care. He was there in the inauguration, just dressed normal, no suit, just like a normal guy, bro. He just didn't care. And that says a lot. That says a lot about an individual. But you know what? At least I feel that he would have possibly done a better job than Joe Biden will ever do. As far-fetched as that sounds, I know that's like from one extreme to the other, but outsiders tend to have the great ideas. I mean, whatever. I mean, great ideas always come from the outsiders. So guys, it was so bad in Portland. I mean, it is like, and it's anti-Biden protests. Can you believe that? Wasn't he the unifier? Weren't the Democrats saying Antifa was not an organization? They weren't doing anything. Antifa was being nice. It was the summer of love. Yeah. It's apparently the winter of hell right now. So we got Joe Biden in office. We got Lucifer in office. And along with Kamala Harris, who spent most of her career on her knees. Sorry if I'm being disrespectful. I'm just being straight up, man. I'm going to be straight up, and I'm always going to speak my mind. And if I sound rude and I sound disrespectful, it is what it is. I don't like these people. I don't believe in these people. I don't believe they have America's best interests at heart. I just don't. I don't. And good luck to anybody who thinks Donald Trump's going anywhere. The guy had more people waiting for him in Mar-a-Lago than Joe Biden had in his inauguration. That should say a lot. People love Donald Trump. He's not going anywhere. So just be patient. Don't believe anything Dr. Q says. Still there, Dr. Q? Dr. Q? Oh.
Yeah, but I'll be right. It's okay.
You will not be right. Let me ask you something.
Everything I've been saying, so it's just going to come out.
You have not been right on anything that you have said. Stop saying that. Stop saying that.
Right on everything. It just wasn't the right timing. But it's still
Okay,
doing
there's
the same
always
thing.
an excuse with QAnon. You guys always have to
Is
find
that or
help,
is that
huh?
not true? The timing's just off. That's all. We can't know the exact timing.
That's it, man.
The enemy would
$2,000
know
Monday
that,
morning.
too.
Monday morning, you go to the bank.
Sure.
If not, I go to the bank. Whichever one goes to the bank, but I highly doubt anything's gonna happen.
Only way,
I just don't.
The only way that happens is if nothing happens. And we spoke about that today.
If nothing happens, in reference to you said Joe Biden would be taken out of office.
I said by Sunday. I didn't say that. I'm saying big things are going to happen. If it doesn't happen by Sunday, yes, you get your money Monday. Yes.
I love this guy. I mean, but can we specify the debt? I mean, can we specify the
I can't.
What is supposed to happen? Because I mean, what if Biden blows a fart and it's caught on camera? Is that considered what's going to happen?
I can't specify exactly what's going to happen. I don't want to tell your listener something and then it not happen. Okay, I'm just telling you that the
confidence
military's
levels
not
have
out of there
dropped.
for 4 days. For 4 days, not out of there. Okay, and like I said, this whole like I said, we are dissolved of the corporation constitution now, and that was Donald Trump's plan, and that's what happened.
How is it that you guys in the QAnon community know so much about Donald Trump's plan that you actually know more about Donald Trump's plan than than Donald Trump, I think?
No.
It seems apparent to me that you guys know his plan almost as if you guys created his plan and you guys are the ones behind it. Because, I mean, none of these plans have come into fruition. I mean, okay, let's say you're wrong. Let's say you're wrong. Let's say
came in fruition.
No, they haven't.
They're not what you think they are.
Okay, let's say, and I had told my audience, damn it, I'm so sorry, guys and gals. I'm sorry that I engaged in this. Somebody specifically actually sent me a message today telling me, I'm actually glad that you talked to somebody from QAnon because they're way out there, and I'm not gonna say any names, but it's a listener, and yeah, I bring them in here because they don't have a voice anywhere, and I think that hearing them makes you realize how bizarre and how crazy and out there this sounds, and I think it gives you a sense of reality that you've been duped by this QAnon community. You have been duped by them. I have not. I refuse to take the purple pill. I'm going to call it the purple pill. A mix of red and blue. The purple pill. I refuse to take the purple pill. Because you guys are just bizarre. I mean, it makes no sense. Nothing big's going to happen. I mean, that's it. It is what it is. I don't even think you're correct on the fact that I don't even think you're correct on the fact that that the National Guard's staying there until Sunday. I was almost certain that I heard they would be out of there by tomorrow. So what happens if they're out of there by tomorrow? Do I get my money tomorrow?
No.
Why not? If the military took, but if the military, but if the military,
like I said, the military might be out of there, the National Guard, but not the marshals.
Dude, do you even know what you're talking about? Do you know that what happened wasn't that there's 2,000 marshals there, right? You realize what happened, right? They deputized 2,000 National Guards to be marshals. You realize that, right?
Yeah, of course. Why do you think they deputized?
So if the National Guard leaves, so will the marshals.
Why did they deputize them?
Maybe they expected riots. I mean, Nancy Pelosi was acting extremely erratic. She was asking for heavy-duty weapons to be all around the Capitol.
Hey, listen, I could be wrong about the military, but no matter what, it's going to happen. I don't know exactly when, but, like I said, give it till Sunday and see what pops off, That's all I'm saying.
Guys, this is what happens when a man makes a desperate bet and the bookie starts collecting. They start requesting extensions.
I'm a man of my word, man.
I know, I don't doubt that, but I'm just saying. Yeah. Usually, bookies when like the person owes the money and they say, "Shit, I lost a bet," they start like, yo, you know what? I'm going to bet on this one. Okay, just give me a chance. I know this one's going to come through. And the bets and the bets and the bets, hoping that something comes out. But at the end of the day, nothing. Nothing. Would you like, because I'm going to end it under an hour today because I am exhausted. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. The inauguration was, I had to watch it. I had to watch it because obviously I report news. I'm involved in the political world. I wanted to see what Joe Biden had to say. But it was exhausting to watch it because I wasn't happy while I was watching it. I was far from happy. I was extremely pissed off watching that video. I mean, watching him get inaugurated, knowing that that man was not picked by the people. So that being said, is there any closing statements you would like to say?
Like I said, give it till Sunday. I could be wrong, could be right. You know, I think I'm right. Like I said, the fact that Biden was inaugurated illegally today and Donald Trump was not our president, the Constitution on the corporation was dissolved. So,
I'm sorry for laughing.
So what happened was
it's just
Donald
you keep
Trump,
going. You keep going with this Constitution and dissolving and this. It just sounds so ridiculous.
That's the problem, Jay, is you can laugh all you want.
I am. I know I can. I've been doing it.
Right. But what I'm trying to say to you is that what he did behind the scenes is just so calculated. You have no damn clue what you are talking about. Everything has to do with this corporation constitution and finally dissolving. He had to do the things that he was going to do for it to dissolve. You understand that? If he was president again, it wouldn't be able to dissolve unless it's like almost like a vote from the people. You know what I mean? But since the situation that happened, it just everything happened perfectly. So it's dissolved now. So we are not under the corporation anymore, and that government is dissolved. Do you understand that?
I mean, yeah, but it doesn't make any fucking sense. But yeah, I understand what you're saying. Doesn't mean I believe it, but yeah, by all means. I mean, if you want to continue to keep making bets after Monday, after I collect the first $2,000, I'll continue to make bets with you. I mean, if you want to make a bet that 2 weeks later, Joe Biden's gonna be arrested, and we could be doing this if you want every 2 weeks. And I think at this rate, you know what, we could do it on a monthly basis, and I think we could cover my expenses. And I mean, I can keep taking this bet, and I mean, even if I lose one time, I would still have profited at least 6 or 7 times over. All right, so I'm gonna go with my closing statement. America, I love you. You are not alone. We are in this together. Never feel like you're alone. We are a minority right now. And it is obvious that we are a minority. We've been hated.
Excuse me. I'm not done. I got.
No. You're not.
When you have time. Please. This will make everything understood. Make you understand everything.
Okay, go ahead.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. So, President Trump signed an executive order in 2018 on election interference fraud for entities, both foreign and domestic. It outlined how assets would be seized. So the president and the people knew and had the proof that a coup transpired out of the corporation of the United States of America, along with other foreign nations, and was ignored by the corporation in D.C. So they continued with their illegal steal, and the military is now in process of seizing the assets of this foreign country. Will you stop it?
Sorry, I'm bored.
Of this foreign country known as the Corporation of the United States of America. It appears that President Trump's executive order was actually directed at the Washington, D.C. corporate swamp cabal all along.
Where are you reading this from? Because this is being read.
Is now wowed in and filled with military guards. Okay, President Trump has moved out permanently, for he can't be president over a sovereign nation in a foreign land, which is that of the White House and the Capitol are. President Trump was voted in by we the people, not the corporation. So after Donald Trump exits the White House, D.C. will be locked down because it will not be possible for a foreign ruler to rule over a sovereign country. Therefore, the foreign ruler must be locked out. In this case, that would be this new administration. Now you see what it's meant. What is this?
Okay, guys. So he obviously went to a QAnon website and he got that, and he's reading it word for word by a writer for QAnon.
Yeah, I just found. Yes.
Okay, I would like to do my closing statement.
One
God.
second, please, 1 second. We are literally watching the reclaiming of the United States of America. What this means for we the people is many things. One of them is no more IRS. Watch and see how this plays out. It is a genius move. God is in charge of this nation and is now leading his elect to restore this great nation called by its name.
Wow. What a beautiful editorial you read there.
I admit I did read that. Yes, 100%.
Can you give the source of the website?
No.
Why not?
Because I can't. It'll be out soon. I guarantee you'll find it in the next few days.
Yeah, this was something that was probably sent to all the QAnon members via email. Let me just tell you this much. When a story is true, QAnon has been claiming all these things, right? They've been claiming that the military is going to take it out openly on Facebook, as a matter of fact, not been censored. But when the New York Post released a real article, they were censored. What does that tell you? There's no substance to these claims. That's why they're not censoring them, because they know it's not true. So there's just some food for thought there. Now I'm going to go with my closing statement. Since it's my show, you are my co-host. And I don't know how I even got a co-host, but somehow you ended up being my co-host. But that being said, I want all Americans, all my fellow Americans to know you're not alone. The media, you're witnessing right now the phoniness, and we're feeling isolated and we're feeling like we're alone, but we have each other. We stand by each other, Republicans alike. We love this country, and don't be fooled. I know that right now you're seeing everybody celebrating Joe Biden. You're getting on Twitter, you're seeing every celebrity that showed so much hate to President Trump showing love to Joe Biden, a senile, old, racist man who's been a racist his entire life. Can't teach an old dog new tricks. And you feel like we're alone, like we're a minority. You are correct. We are a minority right now. We are a minority because the elites have made us felt that way. But the reality is, we are not a minority. I don't know if that little twist there that I threw there, but we're not. We just feel like we're minorities, but we're not a minority. There's more Americans like us everywhere that believe the exact same things that we believe in. The minorities are the elites that think they know what we think, that think that we're dumb, that we don't know how things work, that disregard us, push us aside, bully us on TV, call us names, and then they want to go ahead and then say, oh, but we want to unify. Yeah, that's why as soon as you label yourself as a Republican, they automatically give you the cold shoulder. It's what happened to Donald Trump. Everybody was talking about him running for president for decades. Ran for president, what happened? He automatically became a racist when the R was right in front of his name, when he was running as a Republican for president. This is the unfortunate world that we live in, a world full of hate, a world full of people that hate this country but live in it. And it's sickening, but we must be above that, and we must stick together, and you must always know that there's more of us than what you think, and that you are not alone in this struggle. You are not alone in this battle. We will get through this. We will fight through this together, and I will continue to fight all the way to the moment they censor me on every single platform, because I have been censored. As of recently, I was censored on one platform, which is okay. They censored me. They gave me a 7-day suspension. I was once censored for 30 days because I said Blue Lives Matter. Something so simple like that, right? How crazy. Because I thought police officers' lives matter. Apparently, it violates a specific platform's terms of service. This is the world we're living in, a censored world. This is looking more and more like a communist country. I know that we all feel like we're in the Twilight Zone. I feel it. This inauguration felt like I was in another world. I was looking at it and I felt like, what is going on? This looks like, it just felt surreal. It felt so like out of touch with what happens in America. It didn't feel right. It just doesn't feel right. Nothing about this election feels right. Nothing about what's going on in America feels right. We say that we're going to get unified, yet the same day this man makes a speech about unification, you got riots exploding already in the same places saying, fuck Biden. The same man that supposedly they wanted. So what does that tell you? Because people kept saying that people voted against Donald Trump and that Antifa and all these people were voting against Donald Trump. And they voted for Joe Biden. But if they're promoting fuck Biden and they're part of BLM, there's a problem there. It means these people never voted for Biden. Because why would they vote for somebody that they hate equally? More food for thought. This election was rigged. It was rigged without a doubt. I will never, ever look at Joe Biden like a legitimate president. I will never hashtag not my president because that's a lefty move. I don't do that kind of shit. I love this country too much. But I definitely didn't vote for him. And in my eyes, and in my opinion, he will always be a president that stole an election. Plain and simple. And the duly elected president really was Donald J. Trump, the people's champ, the American president, the America First president. That being said, guys, God bless you. God bless your families. And God bless this beautiful country that we still have so far, America. Thank you.
We will make America great again.
Hi, it's Judge Janine. I want to thank you for listening to the Republican Nation podcast. It's an important podcast to listen to because the Republican Nation is all about the Constitution, the First Amendment, freedom of speech, freedom of religion, the Second Amendment, the right to bear arms, and all of those rights that are important to all of us. We've got to make sure that America doesn't lose any of those rights and that we stay true to our founding fathers' intent. So thanks again for listening to the Republican Nation.